she or he had proved to himself, herself, that you could make these superior stones. And now what they needed to do was to build commitment. And winning commitment is key. Why? Because if this idea is really going to take off, it may need resources, it may need people to say, oh, I'm going to change what I did before and do things in a new way. And the building of commitment from all those who should and could be involved is a key part of innovation management. It's not just having the idea, it's winning the support to move that idea forward. This, if you like, is a political activity, and it is as important in innovation management as having a good idea in the first place. There have been billions of great ideas, billions of opportunities seen, and relatively few actually adopted and moved forward. And this is often because the commitment of those involved is not fully developed. But then we've got a technology, we've got commitment, we need to start to, in this case, industrialize it. There were factories actually making these superior stones 150,000 years ago in South Africa. Kilns needed to be built. Quality control needed to be introduced. The right resources needed to be made available. Processes needed to be changed. The techniques of knapping, of actually fashioning or sharpening the stone, those needed to be improved as well. We call this phase implementing, but implementing creatively. Why do I say this? Because no one's really done this before. It's not just a question. It's not just a question of putting a proven project into place. There's a lot of invention involved. And the last phase is exploiting the benefits. The most successful innovations are those in which new value is created, which provides the greatest good to the greatest number. So then, the flint knappers need to convince others that this is superior. In fact, this particular technology spread all over Southern Africa and to other places as well later. So what you have here are 5 phases of innovation, each of which requires a separate mindset, distinct skills, processes which are specific, and there are results which are deliverable. And I say these are phases because it is not a linear journey. We don't start with finding opportunities or ways to go through the other 4. It's much more untimely. But unless these 5 things are done, you don't have strong innovation management. You don't have opportunities being seen and captured and taken seriously. You don't have the potential being explored systematically so that you really understand the decisions that are being taken. You don't have the degree of commitment, which, as I said earlier, is mission critical to actually making innovation happen. That willing involvement with knowledge of all the people who can make it work. You don't have the flexible and adaptive implementation and taking it forward and upscaling and so on, and you don't have work done to exploit the benefits. So these are the building blocks of innovation management. So we can say that successful, I'm going to come back to the word successful. Successful innovation management is exploiting the value that's latent, in other words, hidden in an idea, a technology, or an opportunity that is new to the unit of adoption, where the value added is greater than the costs incurred. So innovation is not invention or although invention is part of it. It's not creativity, although creativity is part of it. It's not simply concerned with having ideas, ideation as it's sometimes called. It's everything it takes to see an opportunity and get something done in order to progress that opportunity into something of value. And it's that whole process that is innovation management. Successful is an important word in this definition because not all innovation efforts are successful. It is said, innovate or die. But you can innovate, and if you do it unwisely, you can in fact hurt the organisation and get no extra value. So one of the things about innovation management is not just seizing all the opportunities, it's selecting which ones are really going to make the difference, which ones are going to take you further. One thing that is very interesting is that it's about recognizing the potential in opportunities. Let's say there's a new technology which comes along which is concerned with helping students learn. Maybe it's involved in some way or another with the pacing, learning and discussion. Now, this technology comes along, but we don't really understand where it could be useful to us in this situation, to this university, college, to the school, whatever it is. So we need to work on seeing the potential, not just the reality as it is at the moment. Innovation is a technology for the creation of the future. For you here, an innovation would be something that is new to you. Perhaps it's a different way of using whiteboards or blackboards or conveying information to students. In some other place, it might be the way that they do it. So innovation is not new to the world, innovation is new to us. It's a process of change. Why? Because in order for new things to be done, old things may have to be changed or moved away from. It's called creative destruction. So, therefore, processes of innovation need to be at the level of the unit of adoption, not just generally in the world. And this actually applies down to teams and organizations. In JUCO, for example, it's not just JUCO that needs to think about where it needs to innovate. The student group needs to think about where it needs to innovate. The football team, the admissions department, they need to actually have their own innovation agendas. Why? Because this is a life force which actually needs to be buried deep within the organisation. It's not just something for the top bosses to actually do. And we're looking for selective innovation, as I said before, where the costs in terms of time, effort, resources, money and so on are more than repaid by the value add. I'm now going to go on to another topic which is related to innovation management, and this is concerned with where this power of innovation, those 5 sets of activities that I described earlier, can be used.